Hello and welcome to Westline High School for tonight's Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. As we are getting set to go here as...
Get underneath there and plug that big plug in. That's got to be plugged back in. Okay. Hit the green button. Just got to adjust it. Okay, hit welcome again on there, buddy. Top left corner.
As we are almost set to go here, as we are getting everything ready here in the gym. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, as we have the first ever Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. We will have some 3-person bracket, 4-person bracket, and 8-person brackets tonight as we go through the tournament. 7 teams here in the Siouxland Conference when it comes to wrestling. All right, looks like we're about ready to get things started here. And we are going to have the national anthem, so we're going to give a second here. We're going to step away as we get going with the national anthem. As we are going to get ready to go here. So we're back here on the Central Line Broadcast Network with the start of our tournament after these messages from our sponsors.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we always want to give you more variety. That's why we developed Buffet Your Way. Order your favorite pizza for the buffet and we'll bake it and make sure you get the first slice. Like thin crust prairie, pepperoni and green olives on stuffed crust, stampede, buffalo chicken with jalapenos. You name it, we make it. Oh, Carl, I wasn't actually ordering. No, Carl, don't be like that. Come back, we'll eat them!
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Keep them coming, Carl.
Here's to welcoming moments, big and small, At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, with care and coverage. Partner with Avera for more hellos, more hugs, more memories. We'll move you forward through sickness and health, and every milestone in between. Hello possibility, hello healthy, hello life. Avera, moving health forward.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask Seaperda Foltz Insurance and Real Estate in Rock Rapids, Iowa, if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
DeNoble Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, offers a variety of services including payroll, auditing, sales tax, financial statement preparation, and of course, income taxes. Whether you're a farmer, small or large business owner, or just...
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog.
DeNoble Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, offers a variety of services including payroll, auditing, sales tax, financial statement preparation, and of course, income taxes. Whether you're a farmer, small or large business owner, or just require some assistance with your personal finances, DeNoble Austin & Company PC can save you time and peace of mind with the skills you need and the service you expect. Located in Rock Rapids and Laverne.
We're back here in Westline as we are getting going with the tournament here. Give me 1 second to get our track up and going. As you can see on the cameras, you can see this time and score. Nice setup that we have in the gym here where we are at currently. Over on our mat number 1, we had McKinley Sandbolt getting the win by fall over El Luce of Central Line George Larac. So Sandbolt will be moving on. This is a place out to 5th place in these brackets that do have more than 4 girls. I guess obviously if there's only 5 girls, then it's a place to 5th place. Up on mat number 2, we have Carolee Garcia, MOC Ford Valley, and Amara Guardfree of Sheldon Sabrio Cheaton. Now up on mat number 1, Briley Fouth, Okoboji HMS, and Isabel Roski, Sioux Center. Illegal hold on Fouth, the freshman from Okoboji. So it'll be 2-1 in favor of. Actually, we're going to have a takedown and 2 near fall points for Fouth, and then a illegal hold, so a penalty point for Roskin. For 4-1 on the mat number 1. On mat number 2, as we go to the second period, we're tied up 4-4 between Garcia of MOC Ford Valley and Guardfree of Sheldon South O'Brien. Fouth with More near fall points on mat number 1, and Riley Fouth of Okoboji HMS will get the win by fall. Minute 22 left in the first period for Fouth, the freshman. Over on mat number 2, while we wait for mat number 1, we'll go full screen there as Garcia will get the win. Curly Garcia, another freshman, will get the win by fall. Minute 03 left in the second period on mat number 2. Bear with me as I'm trying to get all of our technology working here. Looks like we're waiting here just a minute, trying to get our next wrestlers up on the mat. See if I can't get our team scores to also include our most recent matches. That may not happen until we have a few. Up now on mat number 2, we have Adriana Gutierrez, MOC Floyd Valley, and Kimberly Bergeson, Okoboji HMS, a 130-pound quarterfinal match here. Takedown by Bergeson and a reversal by Gutierrez. We're tied 2-2 here, 130 pounds. As we are trying to get track going, it looks like, on mat number 1. So we're just going to stay here on mat number 2 until they get that fixed. Nothing ever works 100% of the time. Well, thank you all for tuning in. As you see, Bergeson there, 2 near fall points. And Kimberly Bergeson, a 5-5 freshman, will get the win over Gutierrez. And she'll advance to the semifinals at 130 pounds. There's a little break in the action here. So I'm going to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors, Frontier Bank, Pizza Ranch, Premier Bank, Avera Health, DeNovo Austin Company PC, Sanford Health, the Pepsi Beverage Company, and Siouxland Foltz Insurance and Real Estate. Up now, mat number 2, 135-pound quarterfinal match. As soon as I can get track to load, I tell you who it is. It is Avery Littlefield, Central Line George Little Rock, and Avery Ballas, Okoboji HMS. Up now on mat number 2 at 135 pounds. Tied 2-2 here as Ballas got the takedown and then Littlefield with the reversal. And now we're back on both mats, as it looks like we got the computer issues fixed on mat number 1. Cameron Halber, Borden Hollow Rock Valley, and Neil Williams, Sheldon South O'Brien, 135-pound quarterfinal match on mat number 1. So a couple 135-pound matches going on right now. I'm going to blank our team score for a second and try to work on that. And on mat number 2, Ballas will get the win by fall over Littlefield. 14 seconds left to go in that first period as Ballas gets the win. We'll go full screen here on mat number 1 where Cameron Halber has a 2-1 lead over Amia Williams. Halber, Boyne Hill, Rock Valley, Williams, Sheldon, South O'Brien. You can see 25 seconds left in the first period there. End of period number 1 on mat number 1 for Halber and Williams. As we get started with mat number 2, 140-pound quarterfinal match between Mariana Vasquez of Boyden Hill, Rock Valley and Jayla Pritz of Sheldon, South O'Brien. 140 pounds on mat number 2. We're at 135 on mat number 1. As we after a takedown by Vasquez, she has a stall warning for having something on her wrist. Vasquez now on mat number 2, looking for some back points. Looks like she might have 2 locked up. Yes, 2. So Vasquez leads 4-0 over Pritz on mat number 2. On mat number 1, start of the second period in our 135-pound quarterfinal match. Have a reversal by Halber, as she now leads 4-3 on mat number 1. And an escape by Williams on mat number 1. Ties things up 4-4. We have 25 left on our first on mat number 1. Mat number 2. Just went under a minute to go. Vasquez had the 4-0 lead, and then Pritz got the reversal. Now 4-2. Vasquez still leads on mat number 2. And another reversal, this time by Vasquez on mat 2.
We would ask all athletes, coaches, and fans to please take a seat. All coaches, athletes, and fans, please take a seat.
Halber. William Halber will get the win by fall. 26 seconds left to go in the second period over Williams on mat number 1. Over on mat number 2, as I was watching mat 1, that one ended. Looks like Vasquez got the win over Pritz on mat number 2. And we're going to get going on mat number 2 again here. We have Krishana Allen of Okoboji HMS and Bradley Nelson, Central Line George Lorock. Mat number 2, 155-pound quarterfinal match. Allen, a 5-2 junior. Nelson, a 17-7 sophomore. Nelson with the takedown. And Nelson, 3 points, back points locked up. And Briley Nelson will get the win by fall. As Nelson wins, a minute 25 left to go here in the first period. Looks like they might be restarting the computer that is controlling mat number 1 so that we can keep things moving here. You see the team scores scrolling across your bottom of the screen. Once again, with the seating meeting and some buys, there are a few, not very many quarterfinal matches. Not really sure.
Come up to the girls' nest when you have a moment. Jeremy.
Not really sure where we're going with the 3-man and 4-man brackets. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Looks like we might be getting into our 3-man brackets now. Three and 4 man. 3 and 4 woman, I guess. Brackets. However you want to say it. As we have a 110-pound match that is getting set to go here on mat number 2. The full screen there. It's Dulce Ortega, Okoboji HMS, and Molly Konieczki, Central Line George Little Rock. 110-pound match here. This is a 4-person bracket at 110. So this would be round 1 at 110. And we're going to get back going on mat number 1 as well with Genesis Gutierrez, MOC Floyd Valley versus Cheyenne Cummings of Okoboji HMS. 140-pound quarterfinal match here on mat number 1. This is the last of our quarterfinal matches before we get into our round robin matches. Konieczki gets takedown on mat number 2 and then has locked hands. So we'll see if Ortega can do anything with it. And she has a free move here if she wants to. And she's going to get the point for locked hands, and now Ortega got the reversal. So it's 3-2 on mat number 2. Takedown on mat number 1, where Cummings of Okoboji HMS got the takedown on a 140-pound quarterfinal match on mat number 1. She leads 2-0. This is on mat number 2. This is Konieczki's very first match of the year. She was a late addition to the team. And that'll do it. Mat number 2 for the first period. Ortega will take a 3-2 lead into the second period. On mat number 1, end of the period here, as Cummings is trying to get some points. She's going to get some near fall points on mat number 1, 2 it looks like, so she's going to have a 4-0 lead. Cheyenne Cummings of Okoboji HMS over Genesis Gutierrez at MOC Floyd Valley on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Konieczki gets a quick escape, ties it up 3-3 here. Our 110 round 1 of a round robin at 110 pounds. And Ortega with a takedown on mat number 2. Looking to get near fall points and looking to get the fall now, and she will. Dulce Ortega gets the win by fall over Molly Konieczki at 110 pounds. Again, 110-pound bracket is a round robin bracket. On mat number 1, Cheyenne Cummings now leads 5-1. No, sorry, 7-0. 7-0. Cummings leads Gutierrez. And Cheyenne Cummings will get the win by fall on mat number 1. And up now on mat number 2, the other round 1 of our 110-pound bracket. we have Callie Horner of Sheldon Cibolo Cheatham and Dela Corvado Page of Boyden Hall Rock Valley. It's a 110-pound round one match here on mat number 2. Horner, a sophomore, 8-6 on the year. Corvado Pech, a junior, 4-15 on the year. And we're going to go back here to both our mats. At 155-pound quarterfinal match, we have Aria Rensink, Boyden Hall Rock Valley, and Winifred Nice, Sioux Center. 155 quarterfinal match on mat number 1. Horner on mat number 2. Oh, Sheldon South O'Brien gets a takedown, leads 2-0. Rensink on mat number 1 gets the takedown and gets the win by fall. Minute 19 left to go here in the first period. And Aria Rensink will advance to the 155-pound semifinals. I encourage you all, if you're watching, to leave us a message in the chat. You do have to be a subscriber to leave a message, but that's just a click of a button, doesn't cost you anything. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. Up now on mat number 2, another round robin at 115 pounds. This is another 4-person round robin. This is round 1. Cora Shutt of Sioux Center and Brooklyn Van Howland of Central Iron George Little Rock on mat number 1. That's 115 pounds. Over on mat number 2, Horner leads 2-1. As we approach the end of the first period in that round 1 match at 110 pounds. That'll do it for the first period on mat number 2. Horner gets the escape on mat number 2. She now leads 3-1. Still no score on mat number 1. First round of the round robin at 115 pounds. Last 20 seconds on period 1 on mat number 1. Over on mat number 2, minute left to go in the second period. Horner, Sheldon South O'Brien, still leads 3-1 over Corvado Peck of Boyden Hall Rock Valley. That'll do it for mat number 1 for the first period. We'll head to the second period scoreless at 115 pounds. Horner now leads 5-1 on mat number 2. And now getting back points as Horner looks to get the win by fall, and she does. 13 seconds left to go in second period. Callie Horner of Sheldon South O'Brien will win the first round of her round robin matches at 110 pounds. Up here on mat number 1, Shutt was able to get 2 near fall points to start that period. She leads 2-0 here. And Schutz is going to get the win by fall on that number 1. She wins her first round of the round robin matches at 115 pounds. Up now on mat number 2, our other 115-pound round 1 match for the round robins. It is Kian Lundgren of West Lyon and Eliana Van Zee, MOC Floyd Valley. 115 pounds round 1 of the round robin matches for a 115-pound bracket. Lundgren is a junior, 13-9 overall record. Van Zee a freshman, 14-7. We're getting ready to go with our first mat as well here. Up on mat number 1, 170-pound round robin round 1 is Aubrey Benz, Central Line George, Little Rock, and Janessa Gates, Okoboji HMS. This is another 4-person round robin at 170 pounds. Blumgren and Van Zee on mat number 2 at 115 pounds, still scoreless. Van Zee in on a shot here on mat number 2 as we last 12 seconds of the first period. Still no points. And no points awarded to Van Zee, so we'll head to the second period scoreless. Still scoreless as well on mat number 1 in round 1 at 170 pounds between Benz and Gates. Benz with a takedown and near fall points here at the end of the first period. She's looking to try and end it. And 2 seconds left in the first period, and Aubrey Benz will get the win by fall in her first round match at 170 pounds. Over here, still scoreless in a round 1 match at 115 pounds between Cayenne Blumgren of West Lyon and Eliana Van Zee of MOC Floyd Valley. And up now, mat number 1, 190-pound first round match. Gina Turi, West Lyon, and Elvira Topete Nzua of MOC Floyd Valley. Turi with a takedown on mat number 1. She leads 4-1. Minute and a half to go here in the first period. At 190, this is just a 4-person bracket on at 190. 235 is a 3-person, but mat number 1 here at 190, we have a 4-person bracket. Still no score on mat number 2 as there's 2 points for Blumgren for the reversal as she gets scores late into the second period. Get the first points of this match at 115 pounds, and they'll start period 3 in neutral. Tui up 11-2 here. 14-2 now for Tui as she lets up Topete and Zua. 14-3 now. Gonna be 16-3 now with 13 seconds to go in the first period on mat number 1 at 190. Over on mat number 2, still 2-0 in favor of Cayenne Blumgren of Westline over Eliana Van Zee, MLC Floyd Valley. And there's a takedown by Blumgren, so she now leads 4-0 on mat number 2 at 115 pounds. We are at the end of the first period at 190 pounds on mat number 1. Tui with the 16-3 lead. Tui with more near fall points here. Now she's going to look for the fall, and she'll get it with 1:44 remaining in the second period. Jana Tui wins her first round match at 190 pounds. Again, 190 is a 4-person round robin. And that'll do it. Our second round 1 match at 115 pounds. We'll see Cayenne Blumgren get the 4-1 win over Eliana Van Zee of MLC Floyd Valley. We'll go back to 105 pounds now. 105 pounds bracket is just a 3-person bracket. And up now is our another 70-pound round robin match on mat number 2. This is going to see Kayla Sanchez, Boynton Hall Rock Valley Sanchez is from, and Eva Krogman, Sheldon Siblio Cheatham, 170-pound match on mat number 2. On mat number 1, 105 pounds round robin match between Alex Flores of Central and Georgia Little Rock and Haley Whitaker of Sheldon South O'Brien. Flores up 2-0 here on mat number 1 at 105 pounds. Looking to get some near fall points there, but Whitaker rolls through. And over on mat number 2, Kayla Sanchez will get the win by fall with a minute to go in the first period. She wins her first round match in the round robin at 170 pounds. Over on mat number 1, looks like we have a penalty point for a full Nelson on Flores. So Flores now leads 4-1 with a minute 1 to go in first period in that match on mat number 1. And now on mat number, mat number 2 here. We have another 190-pound round robin match. This one is Emma DeYoung, Boynton Hall Rock Valley, and Gabby Rasmussen of Gabby Rasmussen, Central Line, Georgia Little Rock. Flores on mat number 1 with a 4-1 lead over Whitaker. 30 seconds to go in the first period on mat 1. Minute 15 to go in the first period on mat 2. DeYoung and Rasmussen still scoreless. Reversal for Whitaker on mat number 1, so she now trails by 1. She lets Flores up. 5-3 lead for Flores in the last few seconds of the first period. takedown for Rasmussen on mat number 2. End of the first period on mat number 1, 5-3 lead for Alex Flores over Haley Whitaker. DeYoung with a reversal on mat number 2, ties it up 2-2. And that'll do it for period number 1 on mat number 2. Emma DeYoung and Gabby Rasmussen tied at 2. That's a 190-pound round 1 of a round-robin match. On mat number 1, Alex Flores still leads. This time now it's 6-3. Minute 20 to go in the second period on mat number 1. Should not have to have any breaks between rounds with the round robins. That should keep us moving right along here. Flores, another takedown, now leads 8-3 here on mat number 1. Looking for some near fall, and Alex Flores will get the win by fall on mat number 1. 39 seconds left to go in the second period. Mat number 2 still tied 2-2 between Emma DeYoung of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Gabby Rasmussen, CLGLR. 190-pound round robin match on mat number 2. Rasmussen with the takedown now leads 4-2. And DeYoung with a free move on the locked hands is going to get the reversal and back points and the pin. Emma DeYoung will win by fall on mat number 2 at 190 pounds. And we're up at 145 pound on mat number 1. This is another 3-person bracket. We have Layla Calsow, Okoboji HMS. And Mercedes Lopez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley, 145 pounds on mat number 1.
As we head into the end of the first round, team points, 7th place, Sioux Center at 18. 6th place, West Line, 19. Sheldon Siblio Cheaton at 28. MLC Floyd Valley at 33. Number 3, Central Line, George Little Rock at 42, and tied for first, Okoboji HMS and Boyden Hall Rock Valley at 44 points.
And we are getting ready to go back to both mats here. Up on mat number 2. 100-pound, we're in the semifinals now, 100-pound match. Kyla Schwager, Sheldon South O'Brien versus McKinley Sambolt, Boyden Hall Rock Valley. Sambolt, quick takedown and puts Schwager to her back, looking for near fall points there on mat number 2. Mat number 1, Lopez with the reversal to take a 3-2 lead, and now Calsow with an escape. 3-3 is the score on mat number 1 at 145 pounds. Again, that is a round robin match at 145 pounds. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament here in West Lyon. I'm Jeff Cruz on the air for you, bringing you all the action on the CL Broadcast Network. Lopez got a takedown and 2 near fall, so she now has a 7-3 lead in this 145-pound match on mat number 1. On mat number 2, 5-0, Sandbolt leads Schwager. Start of the second period at mat number 1 at 145. Two near fall points locked up for Calsau. Now she's awarded with 2 points. So 7-5 as she looks to turn Lopez again on mat number 1. Mat number 2, end of the second period. McKinley Sandbolt, the Boyne Hall Rock Valley, has the 5-1 lead over Kyla Schwager of Sheldon Sibley Cheatham. Sorry, I used to saying Sheldon South O'Brien for the boys. Takes a little getting used to say Sheldon Sibley Cheatham. In fact, their abbreviation in track is still SSO, and no one ever changed it for the girls. Two more points locked up for Calsau as they are out. Ties it up. Goes Layla Calsau of Okoboji HMS at 7-7 with Mercedes Lopez of Boyne Hall Rock Valley. Now 5-3. Sandbolt leads Schwager on mat number 2. Minute 25 to go in the second period. Sorry, that was the end of the first period last time I announced on mat number 2. Reversal. 7, I think we had 2 near fall points and a reversal. So it's now 7-5. Sandbolt still leads by 2 after that little scramble there. Last 10 seconds in the second period here on mat number 1. We're tied up 7-7. It was 7-3 to start this period. Lopez had a 7-3 lead. And Calsau turned her twice, just for 2 counts though. So we're tied at 7-7, and they're going to start neutral here, the start of the third period on mat number 1 at 145 pounds. Lopez now with a takedown, and she's going to turn Calsau, and Lopez is going to get the win by fall on mat number 1, as on mat number 2. Schwager with the come from behind victory. She wins by fall. Action coming fast and furious here on our 2 mats. Now at 235 in a round robin match, as our 235-pound bracket only has 3 girls in it. This is going to be Amelia Sorolla of Okoboji HMS and Haley Gabderson of CLGLR. Up now on mat number 2, another semifinal at 100 pounds. We have Teresa Felipe Anderson of MOC Floyd Valley and Brooke Stockdale of Okoboji HMS. 100-pound semifinal match on mat number 2. No points yet awarded as Stockdale in on a shot there, trying to get the takedown in there. Takedown is awarded to Brooke Stockdale. on our mat number 2. She leads 2-0. On mat number 1, 2 points awarded to Sorolla of Okoboji HMS. Three-point near fall points for Stockdale on mat number 2. She now with a 5-0 lead in our 100-pound semifinal match. 20 seconds left in the first period on mat number 1. Sorolla still leads 2-0 over Guyberson. Potentially dangerous there on mat number 1, so they're going to reset 4 seconds ago in the first period. Stockdale still leads 5-1 here on mat number 2 at a 100-pound semifinal match on mat number 2. Maybe we'll reset for potential dangerous as well. 16 seconds left on mat number 2. That'll do it for the first period on mat number 1. Guyberson will start on top here in mat number 1. End of the first period on mat number 2. Double check that was the first period. It is. End of the first period on mat number 2. Brooke Stockdale, Okoboji HMS still leads 5-1 over Teresa Felipe Anderson. Two-point reversal for Sorolla, and Sorolla will win by fall. Minute 13 left to go in the second period on mat number 1. Mat number 2, 5-2 lead for Brooke Stockdale. They'll reset here in the middle as they went out of bounds. We'll go back to both our mats here as we're getting ready to go on mat number 1. 120-pound semifinal match on mat 1. Lucy Dornaweird of West Line and Curly Garcia, MOC Ford Valley. 120-pound semifinal match here on mat number 1. 45 seconds left on mat number 2 in the second period. Stockdale and Felipe Anderson. Stockdale leads 5-2. Felipe Anderson trying to get the takedown points here. He's got to get the arm off. Got to get a leg free, and she does. Felipe Anderson now trails 5-4. They momentarily put the score wrong on the scoreboard. They're trying to fix it. Is 5-4. Stockdale leads on mat number 2. Dornaweird with the reversal ties it up 2-2 on mat number 2 on 120 pounds. Start of the third period on mat number 2 at a 100-pound semifinal match. Brooke Stockdale 5-4 lead over Felipe Anderson. Teresa Felipe Anderson, that is, of MOC Ford Valley. Both these girls on mat number 2 are freshmen at 100 pounds. And both the girls at 120 on mat number 1 are also freshmen. Dornaweird from West Line and Garcia of MOC Ford Valley. End of period number 1 here. Dornward's got some near fall points, but she won't be able to get the win by fall, but she will lock up the 3 near fall points. So she now will take a 5-2 advantage into the second period. Teresa Felipe Anderson will get the win by fall. She trailed at least 5-3 at one point in this, or 5-2 at one point in that 100-pound semifinal match on mat number 2. Here on mat number 1, Dornweird of West Lyon leads Garcia of MOC Ford Valley 5-2. Minute 33 to go here in the second period on mat number 1, and that's another semifinal match. This time it's at 1:20. Dornweird with the reversal here as we go back to our 2 mats. Up now on mat number 2 as they're getting set at a 120-pound semifinal match on mat number 2. Mia Cry of Sioux Center and Michelin Sedam of Central Lyon George Little Rock. Dornweird leads 7-2. On mat number 1, looking for some more near fall points as we get started our 120-pound semifinal match on mat number 2. And Dornweird with those 3 near fall points now leads 10-2 on mat number 1 as they reset in the middle with 31 seconds left to go in the second period. Last 10 seconds in the second period on mat number 2. Dornweird looking for some points here at the end of the period. Doesn't look like she's going to get there though. She'll take a 10-2 lead into the third period.
I just want to remind everyone there's a rule change this year. Instead of 45 minutes between matches, it is 30 minutes.
Over on mat 2, we have our other 120-pound semifinal match between Mia Cry of Sioux Center and Michelin Sedam of Central Lyon George Little Rock. They're tied 0-0 here as we approach the last 35 seconds in the first period on mat number 2.
West Line 19. Sheldon Silio Cheaton, 5th place at 43. Tie for 3rd between Central Lyon and Okoboji, 44. MOC Floyd Valley 2nd at 38. And your leader is Boynton Hall Rock Valley at 50.
And that'll do it for the first period on mat number 2. They'll go to the second period. Tied, scoreless. Combine the 2 words there. Dornweird looking to get the win by fall here on mat number 1, and she does. 1:07 to go in the third period. Lucy Dornweird will win by fall over Carolee Garcia. Mat number 2 here. They get started at the second period between Mia Cry and Michelin Sedam. We're ready to go with a 125-pound semifinal match on mat number 1. Emily Winkle of CLGLR and Briley Fouth of Okoboji HMS. Winkle quickly in on a takedown. Saddam on that number 2 gets the takedown and puts Cry to her back, and Michelin Saddam will win by fall with 1:11 left in the second period on that number 2. So she'll advance to the 120-pound finals, as we are in the semifinals right now. Winkle still up 2-0 here over Fouth of Okoboji HMS. Now over for the first period on mat number 1, Winkle. Sorry, we have 2 mats going. I'm trying to do something else here. On mat number 2, 125-pound semifinal, Teresa Rodriguez of MLC Floyd Valley leads 7-1 over Dana Coons of Sheldon South O'Brien, and Rodriguez will get the win by fall over Coons. She advances to the finals at 125. Start of period number 2 here between Emily Winkle of CLGLR and Briley Fouth of Okoboji HMS. Winkle with a 2-0 lead here. Winkle the takedown, the reversal. She now leads 4-0. Up now on mat number 2, a semifinal round match at 130 pounds. Claire Metzger of West Lyon and Lily Henry of CLGLR. Metzger a 12-7 junior, Henry a 16-8 senior. That is mat number 2. Stall warning for Fouth, and Winkle turns her and wins by fall. Emily Winkle will move to the finals at 125 pounds. She wins by fall, 41 seconds left to go in the second period. Here on mat number 2, we're still scoreless. We approach 50 seconds left in the first period between Metzger of West Lyon and Henry of CLGLR. Henry with the takedown. She leads 2-0 now, last 25 seconds of the first period. Let's go with the escape. 2-1 on mat number 2. Mat number 1, the other 130-pound semifinal match. It's Grace Seiler of Sheldon Sibley Cheatham and Kimberly Bergeson of Okoboji HMS. So both our 130-pound semifinal matches are up right now on the mats, as we are in our semifinal round for the brackets, the 8-person brackets. Seiler with the takedown on mat number 1. Grace Seiler, a 13-4 sophomore. Bergeson, a 6-5 freshman on mat number 1. Lily Henry leads Claire Metzger 2-1 on mat number 2. They are in the first little bit here of the second period. Two to 2 over on mat number 1. Bergeson with the reversal. And now Seiler with the reversal. 4-2. 35 seconds left to go in the first period. Grace Seiler, 4-2 lead, and going to be getting some near fall points. The escape for Lily Henry on mat number 2. She now leads 3-1. 45 seconds left in period number 2 on mat number 2. Again, we are in the semifinal round here. 135-pound matches up on both mats. That'll do it for the first period. Seven to 2 lead for Seiler on mat number 1. Takedown from Metzger on mat number 2 ties it up 3-3, and she's going to get near fall points here in the last few seconds of the So Metzger will have a 6-3 lead as they go to the third period on mat number 2. Start of period number 2 on mat number 1. Seiler with a quick reversal to start that period. Metzger with the escape now leads 7-3 over Lily Henry on mat number 2. Henry with a takedown and puts Metzger to her back. Over on mat number 1, Seiler was able to get the win. And we're back on action on mat number 1 in use. Lena Yoke of MSC Floyd Valley and Delaney Rowland of Sioux Center. 135-pound semifinal match on mat number 1. On mat number 2, Lily Henry was able to get that win by fall with 58 seconds left to go in the third period, so she will advance to face Seiler in the finals. We have our other 135-pound match, semifinal match here on mat number 2, and track refreshes and tells me who is up. I believe it is Halber of Boynton Hall Rock Valley, Cameron Halber of Boynton Hall Rock Valley, and Avery Ballas of Okoboji HMS on mat number 2. That's our other 135-pound semifinal match. As I said, we have a few three-person brackets, a few four-person brackets, and then the rest of them are all 8-person brackets, even though there's obviously not 8 people, as there's only 7 girls teams here in the Siouxland Conference, with Sheldon and Cibolo Cheatham combining. Central Line and George Lorac have been combined in boys for a long time. Bourne Hall Rock Valley combined in boys for a long time. And Unity Christian, new to the conference, does not have wrestling, so that's how we get 8 teams on the boys' side, 7 teams on the girls' side, as Reina Yak will get the win by fall over Delaney Rowland of Sioux Center on mat number 1. Still scoreless. Oh, no, not scoreless anymore. Looks like Avery Ballas, local GHMS, with a 2-point takedown on mat number 2. She leads Cameron Halbert of Bourne Hall Rock Valley 2-0. Now up on mat number 1, 140-pound semifinal match between Riley Weiler, CLGLR, and Cheyenne Cummings of local GHMS. Weiler, a senior, 23-3 record. Cummings, a freshman, a 9-7 record. And Ballas is going to get the win by fall for Oakville GHMS. Riley Weiler leads 2-0. On mat number 1.
We appreciate all the officials that came together tonight for helping us work this postponed meeting.
20 seconds left here in the first period on
A young man of 71. I'll let you guess.
mat number 1.
If you get a chance to thank the officials tonight, please do. We appreciate that.
Looks like we are ready to go here on our second mat. Looks like, I believe we'll have a 135-pound quarterfinal match. A 4-0 lead for Riley Weiler on mat number 1. 135-pound consolation round match on mat number 2 right now. Ania Williams, Sheldon South O'Brien, Avery Littlefield, CLGLR. Williams, a 1-2 freshman. Littlefield, a 0-1 freshman. We'll go to the second period here on mat number 1. Riley Weiler leads Cheyenne Cummings 2-0 on mat number 1. Weiler with the escape. She now leads 5-0 on mat number 1. Weiler, takedown and near fall points here. Now leads 10-0 on mat number 1. Is looking to get the win by fall. Still 0-0, last 15 seconds of the first period on mat number 2. End of the first period as Ania Williams leads 2-0. Hey, we've got blood time on mat number 2. First time of that all night long. Of a miracle we've made it this far without having any blood time, as we're over an hour into our tournament here. The inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. And it was postponed at that. Wasn't sure we were actually going to get anything in, considering the weather we've had. Went outside and shoveled this morning. It was chilly. Going to be even colder tonight here in Northwest Iowa. Many of you watching from a warm destination. Wish I was there with you, because we haven't seen above freezing weather for a while, and it's going to be a little while. Well, next week we should hopefully get above freezing. Back in action here on the second mat. Williams leads Littlefield 2-0, a minute 43 left in the second period. Another takedown by Weiler on mat number 1. She's up 14-1. Whistle, she's either going to win by tech fall here, or she's going to get the win by fall. Williams with another takedown on mat number 2, and Riley Weiler gets the win by fall. 1:25 left to go in the third period on mat number 1. Should go to the finals at 140. Six to 1 lead for Williams over on mat number 2. She leads Avery Littlefield. She got another takedown and so 2 near fall points. And up now on mat number 1, 140-pound semifinal between Mariana Vasquez of Boyden Hole Rock Valley and Eliana Coy of West Lyon. Vasquez, a freshman, 18-8 record. Coy, a sophomore, 14-4 record on mat number 1. Coy with a takedown, and now gets Vasquez to her back. She's got 3 near fall points locked up. And Nia Williams will win by fall with 2 seconds left to go in the second period on mat number 2. She wins by fall. Consolation round match, 135 on mat number 2. Coy leads 2-0, but now she'll get a near fall points. Now leads 5-0. Does Eliana Coy of West Lyon on mat number 1. Oops, went to go both mats there. Now up on mat number 2, Casey Huss of MOC Floyd Valley and Bradley Nelson of CLGLR. It's a semifinal match at 155 on mat number 2. Huss, 27-2 sophomore. Nelson, 18-7 sophomore. That'll do it for the first period on mat number 1. Coy with the 8-0 lead as they head to the second period in that semifinal match at 140 pounds. Excuse me. And getting the score correct on mat number 1. Ready to go. Resume action as Eliana Coy of West Lyon will start on bottom. Vasquez on top. That semifinal match at 140. Over on mat number 2, Casey Huss should be up 2-0. They have the score the opposite way. Huss is going to defer. Nelson will choose on top. On mat number 2. Mat number 2, a semifinal match at 155. Coy with another takedown on mat number 1 leads 10-0. An escape by Huss. She now leads 3-0. And Coy will get the win by fall on mat number 1. She'll advance to the finals at 140 pounds. Huss leads on mat number 2. Not sure if it's supposed to be 3-0 or 5-0 there. Huss did get the takedown, and they gave the points to Nelson. Nobody caught it before they started the second period. I believe they do know about it, but they're going to wait for a break in the action, I would assume, to fix it. And Huss now. And Casey Huss will get the win by fall on mat number 2 with 27 seconds to go in the second period. Up now on mat number 1, we have Aria Rensink of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Tamsin Budden of Sheldon South O'Brien. That's a 155-pound semifinal match on mat 1. Rensink, a 14-7 senior. Budden, a 19-8 senior. Had to get the score corrected on mat number 2 before they could finalize that match between Huss and Nelson, even though Huss got the win by fall. And we're going to get both mats going again. Up now, mat number 2, 105-pound round robin match between Samantha Ramirez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Haley Whitaker of Sheldon Siouxland. Ramirez, a 12-10 freshman. Whitaker, a 7-19 sophomore. End of first period on mat number 1 at 155, going to remain scoreless between Rensink and Budden. Ramirez take down here in the first minute of our 105-pound round robin match on mat number 2. She leads 2-0 over Whitaker. No points yet on mat number 1. No reset in the middle. 155-pound semifinal match on mat number 1. Samantha Ramirez got the win over Whitaker on mat number 2. Up now on mat number 2, another round robin match. This one's at 2:35. Kaylee DeYoung, Boyden Hall, Rock Valley. Haley Godberson, CLGLR. DeYoung, a sophomore, 17-4 record. Godberson, a sophomore, 12-7 record. DeYoung, takedown and now near fall points here. Up on mat number 1, Rensink leads Budden 2-0. They approach the end of the second period, and that'll do it for mat number 2. DeYoung gets the win by fall over Godberson. Tied up 2-2 here on mat number 1. That 155-pound semifinal match. Going to get going here again on mat number 2. Tell you who that is in just a second. I know it's Brooklyn Van Hollen of Central and George Little Rock. On mat number 2, another 110-pound round robin match. This one is Callie Horner of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton and Molly Konitschke of Central and George Little Rock. Horner is a 9-6 sophomore. Konitschke an 0-1 sophomore. Konitschke with the takedown. And now that's not Molly Konitschke. That is Brooklyn Van Holland. Not sure why on track it says Molly Konitschke, but that was definitely Brooklyn Van Hollen out there at 110. Wasn't it? Maybe it was Molly Konitschke. It was Molly Konitschke. That is my fault. They look very, very similar, do those two girls. Over on mat number 1, Aria Rensink got the win by fall. Up now on mat number 2, we have Cora Shutt of Sioux Center and Eliana Van Zee, MOC Floyd Valley. Another round robin match at 115 pounds. Shutt, a 17-2 sophomore. Van Zee, a 14-18 freshman. Now up on mat number 1, 145-pound, round 2 of our 3-person match. This is Lucy Konieczki, Sunshine George Little Rock, and Mercedes Lopez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley. Konieczki, a 22-0 freshman. Lopez, a 6-8 junior. Konieczki, 2 takedowns. Should lead 4-1, not 4-0, as she let Lopez up. Shutt with the 2-0 lead over on mat number 2 over Van Zee. Four-to-1 lead for Cora Shutt of Sioux Center over Eliana Van Zee. MLC Ford Valley on mat number 2 as they approach the end of the first period. Lucy Konieczki still up 4-1 over Mercedes Lopez on mat number 1. And Lucy Konieczki will get the win by fall with 17 seconds left to go in the first period. She wins her first round robin match at 145. Mat number 2 here. Start of the second period, Cora Shutt of Sioux Center leads Eliana Van Zee of MLC Ford Valley 4-1. Another round robin match. This one's at 115. Now up on mat number 1. Round robin match. Round number 2 at 110 pounds. This is Dulce Ortega of Okoboji HMS and De La Quevedo Peck of Boyden Hall Rock Valley. Ortega, a 9-5 sophomore. Quevedo Peck, a 4-16 junior for the Nighthawks. Shutt now leads 7-1 on mat number 2 as Ortega gets the takedown on mat number 1. She takes a 2-0 lead over Quevedo Peck. And Dulce Ortega of Okoboji HMS will win by fall. 42 seconds left to go in the first period. That is a round robin match at 110 pounds. End of the second period on mat number 2. Cora Shutt of Sioux Center has a 7-1 lead over Eliana Van Zee of MLC Ford Valley. Up now on mat number 1, another round robin match. Now we're at 170 pounds. This is Aubrey Benz of Sunshine George Little Rock and Eva Krogman of Sheldon Sibley Cheatham. Benz, a 13-6 sophomore. Krogman, a 10-15 sophomore. Aubrey Benz with a takedown on mat number 1 leads 2-0. Shutt now leads Van Zee 9-1 over on mat number 2. Mat number 2 is a 115 round robin match. We're in round 2 of our round robins. Mat number 1, 170 pound round robin match. And Dobby Lenz will get the win by fall on mat number 2 to win that round robin match. Schutt well in control here, 9-1 lead with 40 seconds left here on mat number 2, 115 pound round robin match. That'll do it. Cora Schutt will get the win by fall on mat number 2. 16 seconds remaining in that match. She wins her second round robin. Breaking the action. I'm trying to keep our brackets filled out so I kind of have some sort of an idea of what is going on. Up now on mat number 2, we have Cayenne Blumgren of West Lyon and Brooklyn Van Hollen of CLGLR. This is a 115 pound round robin match, round 2. Blumgren is a 14-9 junior. Van Hollen at 2-2 junior. Still waiting on mat number 1 to get going. Two to 1 lead for Van Hollen on mat number 2. She got the takedown and then the escape by Bloomgren. Four to 1 lead is Brooklyn Van Hollen with another takedown on mat number 2. And that'll do it for the first period. Brooklyn Van Hollen leads Cayenne Blumgren 4-1. Round robin match at 115 pounds. And we have illegal. So Van Hollen will get a point from Bloomgren there. And we got it all figured out on mat number 1 as we get set for a 190-pound round-robin match between Jana Terwee of West Lyon and Gabby Rasmussen of CLGLR. Terwee, a 15-0 senior, Rasmussen, a 10-6 senior. We're in our second round of round-robin matches here. True with a quick takedown and now some near fall points. Takedown by Blumgren. She now trails 5-3 with a minute to go in the second period, but she just turned Van Halen. And Blumgren will get the win by fall at 115 pounds. She wins her second round robin match there. Turi up 5-1. Here on mat number 1, now 7-1. 190-pound round 2 round robin match. Looking to see who is up on mat number 2. It's a 170-pound round robin match, second round robin match. And it looks like it's Kayla Sanchez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Janessa Gates, Rokaboji HMS. Sanchez a 10-3 senior, Gates a 9-4 freshman up on mat number 2. Last few seconds of the first period on mat number 1. Jana Turi with a 12-2 lead as they go to the second period on mat number 1. Last 25 seconds of the first period on mat number 2. Sanchez and Gates on mat number 2. Turi and Rasmussen on mat number 1. Turi up 13-2. A minute 18 to go. And Turi now with another takedown, 15-2. And Turi, that's a 5-point move. So she is going to either win by fall or win by tech fall. Now she's got 3 points wrapped up here. End of the first period, we are scoreless on mat number 2. And that'll do it on mat number 1. Gina Turi gets the 18-2 win. 53 seconds to go in the second period at 190 pounds in the round 2 of our round robin. Start of the second period here on mat number 2. Again, Sanchez and Gates up on mat number 2. Up now on mat number 1, our other 190-pound match for this round 2 of our round robin. And it is Emma DeYoung of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Elvia Topete Anzua of MOC Floyd Valley. DeYoung, a 14-5 sophomore. Topete Anzua, a 16-10 sophomore. DeYoung with a quick 5-0 lead here on mat number 1. Sanchez on mat number 2 is up 2-1, but she's got some near fall points locked up and looking to win by fall. Looks like Gates might get out of it. She does, so Sanchez now lead with a 5-1 lead as they go to reset. 31 seconds to go in the second period down there on mat number 2. Emma DeYoung up already 5-0, and Emma DeYoung on mat number 1 will get the win by fall with 12 seconds to go in the first period. Last few seconds here on mat number 2, second period. Kayla Sanchez of Boynton Hill Rock Valley up 5-1 over Janessa Gates of Okoboji HMS. Now up on mat number 1, a consolation semifinal match at 120 pounds. We have Amala Gardfree of Sheldon South O'Brien and Mia Cry of Sioux Center. Gardfree is a 8-15 sophomore, Cry a 6-14 senior. Gardfree with the takedown on mat number 1 leads 2-0 with a minute to go in the first period, and that consolation semifinal match at 120. Sanchez and Gates still up on mat number 2 at 170 pounds. Sanchez of Boynton Hill Rock Valley leads 5-1 as they have under a minute to go in that match. That match has been going on. We've had 2 matches completed on mat number 1 by the time this, this match on mat 2 has been going on. And a third one completes on mat number 1 as Amala Gardfree will get the win by fall with 35 seconds to go in the first period. She advances to the third place match, as Mia Cry will end up in 5th. So Cry is done for the night at 120 pounds. Mat number 2 here, last 10 seconds. And Sanchez will get the garbage takedown at the end of the period. She will get the victory and win her round 2 of the round robin matches at 170 pounds. Now up on mat number 1, Adriana Gutierrez of MOC Floyd Valley and Claire Metzger of West Lyon. This is a consolation semifinal match at 130 pounds on mat number 1. Gutierrez, an 0-1 freshman. Metzger, a 12-8 junior on mat number 1. Metzger with a quick takedown. And we're up again on mat number 2. 100-pound consolation semifinal match. Ellie Luce of CLGLR and Brooke Stockdale, Okoboji HMS. Luce, a 7-16 freshman. Stockdale, a 9-6 freshman. And over on mat number 1, Claire Metzger will get the win by fall in her consolation semifinal match at 130. And Stockdale will get the quick win by fall on mat number 2. And she'll advance to the third place match at 100 pounds. And Ellie Luce will end up in fifth place at 100 pounds.
Jeremy Childress to the crow's nest, please.
Well, breaking the action here is getting set to go. Girls on both mats here. Mat number 1, we have another consolation semifinal match, this time at 135 pounds. It's going to be Delaney Rowland of Sioux Center and Ania Williams of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Rowland, a 9-8 sophomore. Williams, a 2-2 freshman on mat number 1. On mat number 2, our 125-pound consolation semifinal match. This is Isabel Roskam of Sioux Center and Dana Coons of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Roskam, a 3-8 junior. Coons, a 5-5 senior on mat number 2. Mat number 1, 135-pound consolation semifinal. Mat number 2, 125-pound consolation semifinal. And it looks like Coons will get the first points on mat number 2. And Rowland will get the first points on mat number 1. Delaney Rowland will get the win by fall on mat number 1. 26 seconds left in the first period. So Rowland will advance to the third place match at 135 pounds, and Williams will be our fifth place finisher at 135 pounds. 5-0 lead for Dana Coons of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton at the end of the first period on mat number 2. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. Apologize. I want to show you just mat number 2. I showed you just mat number 1 with nobody wrestling on it for a minute, as I was trying to update my bracket. Now up on mat number 1, 140-pound consolation semifinal match between Genesis Gutierrez of MOC Floyd Valley and Mariana Vasquez of Boyden Hull Rock Valley. Gutierrez, a 1-12 freshman. Vasquez, an 18-9 freshman. Dana Coons with an 8-0 lead after the first period over on mat number 2.
Current point standings in 7th place, Sioux Center at 29. 6th place, Westline 59 and a half.
Gutierrez with a takedown on mat number 1 leads 2-0. An escape for Coons on mat number 2. She leads 10-0. Not sure if it's supposed to be 10 or it's supposed to be 9. I thought it was 8. Maybe it was 9-0 before the escape. And over on mat number 1, Vasquez got the reversal and then got the win by fall with 58 seconds to go on the first period. Mariana Vasquez will advance to the third place match at 140 pounds. It is our one bracket where we actually have the way it worked out. We will wrestle for fifth place, I do believe, on that bracket. Up now on mat number 1 as we continue on here. 155-pound consolation semifinal match between Krishana Allen of Okoboji HMS and Aria Rensink of Boyden Hull Rock Valley. Allen, a 5-3 junior. Rensink, a 14-8 senior on mat number 1. It's our 155-pound consolation semifinal match. mat number 2, Coons with a 13-2 lead. Last 15 seconds of the second period. Takedown for Allen on mat number 1. She has the early 2-0 lead. Rensink gets the escape on mat number 1. That'll do it for mat number 2 for the second period. Coons leads Roskam 15-2 in our consolation semifinal at 125. Takedown. And it will be a win by fall for Aria Rensink of Boyden Hall Rock Valley with 52 seconds to go in the first period. Start of the third period here on our mat number 2. And Coons now will get the win by fall or tech fall as she's up by 15 points. As we now have our 105 third round of our third and final round at 105 pounds as Coons gets the win by fall on mat number 2. Mat number 1, we have Samantha Ramirez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Alex Flores of Central Line George Little Rock. Ramirez, a 13-10 freshman. Flores, an 11-9 junior. The winner of this will be our champion at 105 pounds, as they have both won so far. Haley Whitaker will be our third place finisher at 105 pounds. Ramirez with a takedown on mat number 1. Ready to go again up on mat number 2. Consolation semifinal match at 140 pounds. Cheyenne Cummings, Okoboji HMS, and Jayla Pritz of Sheldon Sibley Ocheyedan. Cummings, a 9-8 freshman. Pritz, a 4-14 junior. Mat number 2, consolation semifinal at 140. Flores got the escape on mat 1. She trails 2-1. 35 seconds left in the first period there. Quick takedown for Pritz on mat number 2. She leads 2-0 over Cummings. No points yet on mat number 2. There's the 2 points for Ramirez. She now leads 4-1 the last few seconds of our third and final round robin match at 105 pounds. And at the buzzer, Flores does get the escape. So 4-2. Ramirez will lead. Two to 2 on mat number 2 as Cheyenne Cummings was able to get the reversal. Over on mat number 2, Cheyenne Cummings was able to get the win by fall. Ramirez up 4-2. Now with a reversal will be should be a reversal. And 3 near fall points. So it should be 9-2, I do believe. on mat number 1. We're getting set for another match here on mat number 2. It's a 155-pound consolation semifinal match between Briley Nelson of Central Line George Little Rock and Winifred Nice of Sioux Center. Nelson, an 18-8 sophomore. Nice, a 3-8 junior. And Ramirez will win by fall on mat number 1, and she will be your champion at 105 pounds. Flores will be runner-up. And I believe our first Siouxland Conference champion has been crowned with the freshman at 105 pounds. Under a minute to go here between Nelson and Nice. Still tied 0-0. Takedown by Nelson. Last 10 seconds of the first period. And over on mat number 1, Lucy Kanichki won by forfeits. And Lucy is going to be your champion, I do believe. As Kanichki will be your champion at 145 pounds with a 2-0 record. Mercedes Lopez will be second, and Layla Calsow will be third place at 140 pounds. Now up on mat number 1, our third round at 235 pounds between Kaylee DeYoung of Boyne Hall Rock Valley and Amelia Sorolla of Okoboji HMS. DeYoung, an 18-4 sophomore. Sorolla, 4'9 junior. And over on mat number 1, Briley Nelson's going to win by fall with a minute 16 left in the second period. As DeYoung with a quick takedown on mat number 1. As we are rolling along here, and I'm trying to update my bracket so I can tell you where people are finishing. I can't do it fast enough. And we're ready to go again on both mats. Up on mat number 2, our 110-pound round 3 in our round robin. This is going to be Dulce Ortega of Okoboji HMS and Callie Horner of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Ortega, a 10-5 sophomore. Horner, a 9-7 sophomore. DeYoung will win by fall. 23 seconds remaining in the first period. Kaylee DeYoung at 2:35 is going to be your Siouxland Conference champion. Haley Godberson will be second, and Amelia Cirola will be third place at 2:35. Ortega and Horner still tied 0-0 here in our 110-pound match. Last few seconds here, still tied 0-0 between Ortega and Horner. Ortega and Horner still tied 0-0 here. Now, takedown for Callie Horner. Locked hands call on Horner. Ortega's got a free move. See if she does anything with it. No. So, Ortega will get the free points. 2-1 lead. Callie Horner, Sheldon Sibley Ocheyedan leads Dulce Ortega of Okoboji HMS. And that'll do it for the second period. Callie Horner with a 2-1 lead over Ortega. Ortega is going to choose top. Minute and a half to go here in the third period. Still 2-1. Callie Horner leads Dulce Ortega. Not sure what's going on mat number 1. Some sort of delay on mat number 1. Looks like we might be getting ready to go. And full Nelson call. So now Horner will lead 3-1 on mat number 2. Here as we are getting ready to go on mat number 1, our third round in our round robin. Sioux Center's Cora Schutt versus West Lions Cayenne Bloomgren. Schutt, a 18-2 sophomore. Bloomgren, a 15-9 junior. The winner of this will be your champion at 115 pounds, as they are both 2-0 so far. Blood time on mat number 2. We have our mat number 1 here where Schutt gets the takedown and 5 points there. She is up to 5-0 lead with 1:05 to go in the first period.
Just south of Iowa City. So, January 26th, regions, state wrestling, Thursday and Friday, February 1st and 2nd in Coralville, Iowa.
Schutt now with more near fall points locked up. Now three more. So 8-0 lead for Schutt of Sioux Center. And reversal by Blumgren, 8-2. Last 10 seconds of the first period here. And an escape at the last few seconds. Cora Schutt now leads 9-2 as they go to the second period. Blood time is over on mat number 2, so we're ready to get going again on both our mats. Mat number 2. Callie Horner of Sheldon Sibley-Ocheden leads Dulce Ortega 3-1. 10 seconds left. Horner basically just has to try and sit there and not get turned. And she will get the win, and this is going to be, they're both 2-1 now. And we could have a 3-way tie for first at 110 pounds if things work out as they might, as we have a 1-1 wrestler versus an 0-2 wrestler coming up here at 110 pounds once we get going. Schutt here now up 10-2 over Bloomgren. And we're back in action on mat number 2, our other 110-pound round robin match. This is Delia Quivado-Peck of Boyden Hall Rock Valley and Molly Konitschke of Central Iron George Little Rock. Quivado-Peck is a 4-17 junior. Konitschke a 1-1 sophomore. Konitschke with the takedown. Leads 2-0. Schutt with another takedown on mat 1. She's up 12-2 with 30 seconds to go in the second period on mat number 1. And Schutz will get the win by fall with 1 second remaining in the second period. So at 115 pounds, Cora Schutz will be your champion. Cayenne Blumgren will be your second place finisher. At 115 pounds. Molly Konitschke up 2-0 here. 35 seconds remaining in the first period. Up on mat number 1, we should have our next 115-pound match. And that'll do it for the first period on mat number 2 here in our third round of our round robins at 110 pounds. And Konitschke with the reversal. And a 4-point move. She only has 2 near fall points locked up. I know it's hard to see with the scoreboard there. And Molly Konitschke will get the win by fall. And we have a 3-way tie for first place at 110 pounds. I am going to wait for the computer to tell me who is going to win that one, first, second, and third. Maybe we can look already. We got a break here in the action. I believe we might have a 30-minute rule coming into effect here. Where we have to wait. We'll be right back here. We're going to wait for our next matches and go and maybe grab something to eat, take a restroom break. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we're going. Let's see. I think we're up at 170 on mat number 2. Yes, we are. All right. Dinner and a bathroom break will wait. Here we go, 170. We are in round 3 of our round robin matches at 170 pounds. Up now, Kayla Sanchez, Boyden Hollow Rock Valley, and Aubrey Benz, Central Line George, Little Rock. Sanchez an 11-3 senior, Benz a 14-6 sophomore. And this is our first place match at 170. Both of these girls are 2-0. So the winner of this match will be your conference champion at 170 pounds. And it looks like we're finally ready to go on mat number 1 again. Round 3 at 115 pounds. Eliana Van Zee, MOC Floyd Valley. Brooklyn Van Hollen, Central Line George, Little Rock. Van Zee, a 14-19 freshman. Van Hollen, a 2-3 junior. This is your third place match here at 115 pounds. Benz, takedown. Can't see if she has any back points. Doesn't look like it yet, so just 2-0 lead for Benz on mat number 2. And now a reversal by Sanchez. So we're tied 2-2 here, last 25 seconds. We'll reset in the middle here. Ben's trying to get an escape on mat number 2 in the last 10 seconds as Van Hollen with a 2-point takedown and puts Van Zedor back. And Aubrey Ben's able to get that escape. And she must have had back point or near fall points that I didn't see. So she is up 6-2 at the end of the first period on mat number 2. I am going to try to figure out our results for that 3-way tie at 110. While these matches are going on. Van Hollen now up 5-0 on mat number 2. An escape for Sanchez on mat 2 makes it 6-3 early in the second period. Benz with a 2-point takedown on mat number 2, leads 8-3 now. And we do have the results of our 110-pound bracket. First place, senior conference champion at 110 pounds, Dulce Ortega of Okoboji HMS. Molly Kanichke of Central Line George Little Rock in second. Kaylee Horner of Sheldon Sibley Ocheyedan in third. And Dahlia Cavado Peck of Boyne Hall Rock Valley in fourth at 110 pounds. And they'll reset in the middle on mat number 2. As I could hear CLGLR coaches yelling at Ben to try and get her feet back in before they were called for being out of bounds. They'll reset on mat number 1 as well. Still 5-0 lead for Brooklyn Van Holland over Eliana Van Zee. Again, this is 115 pounds. This is our third place match on mat 1 in the round robin, just the way it worked out. And on mat number 2 at 170 pounds, Sanchez and Benz, this is our first place match. Benz now near fall points and looking to settle in and get the win by fall. And Aubrey Benz is your conference champion at 170 pounds as she gets the win by fall with 13 seconds left to go in the second period. Van Hollen with a reversal on mat number 1, so she's up 7-0 in this third place match at 115. Up now on mat number 2, Jana Terwee, West Lyon, Emma DeYoung, Boyne Hall Rock Valley. Third round robin at 190. Terwee, a 16-0 senior. DeYoung, a 15-5 sophomore. Terwee quickly with a takedown and puts DeYoung on her back. End of the second period on mat number 1 sees Van Holland of CLGLR with a 5-0 lead over Van Zee. And again, this is our championship match at 190. Sometimes it works out this way in the round robins, as there's no seeding actually when you do the round robins like this, so it just kind of works out this way. The computer might take the two with the best records, though, and put them at the end. I'm not exactly sure how track wrestling does that. And Jaina Terwee will get the win by fall with 1:08 to go in the first period.
Squad. On the south mat, Gina Rebecca Terwee, daughter of Jennifer and Andrew Terwee, granddaughter of
There is no, unfortunately, Westline did not have a senior night with no home meets duels, so they are doing a quick little recognition for Jaina Terwee. Congratulations to her. This is her last senior match. And she is your champion at 190 pounds. So congratulations to Jaina Terwee of Westline at 190 pounds. Emma DeYoung will be your second place finisher at 190. And our next match will be our third place match at 190. Our third place match at 115 still going. Brooklyn Van Hollen now up 9-0 with 46 seconds to go in the third period. Now up on mat number 2, Gabby Rasmussen, Central Line George Little Rock, and Elvia Topete and Zua of MOC Floyd Valley. Our third round robin match at 190. Rasmussen, a 10-7 senior. Topete and Zua, a 16-11 senior. Again, this is our third place match at 190. And our third place match at 115 is going to come to an end. Brooklyn Van Hollen of CLGLR will win and take home third place at 115 pounds. Our third place match at 190 here on mat number 2. Between Rasmussen and Topete and Zua. And we're back on mat number 1 as well. This is our third place match at 170. We have Janessa Gates, Okoboji HMS, and Eva Krogman, Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Gates, a 9-5 freshman. Krogman, a 10-16 sophomore. 170-pound third place match on mat number 1. Shout out to Emily Anderson watching. Saying go Lions for CLGLR. And that'll do it for the first period on mat number 2. Between Gabby Rasmussen and Elvia Topete and Zua. That's a third place match at 190, tied 0-0. Third place match at 170 between Janessa Gates, Okoboji HMS, and Eva Krogman, Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Till they are tied at zeros as well. No points on mat 1 as they will head to mat to period number 2 scoreless between Janessa Gates and Eva Krogman, our third place match at 170. Third place match at 190 between Topete and Zua and Rasmussen, still 0-0. We are exactly halfway through the second period on mat number 2. Locked hands right on the whistle for Gates. So Krogman's got a free. No, those locked hands on Krogman. And Gates used the free move to get a reversal. She's now up 3-0. And now with near fall points on mat number 1, Gates. And Gates with a win by fall. So Janessa Gates will be your third place finisher at 170 pounds as she gets the win by fall. And now up on mat number 1, we have our first place match at 100 pounds between Kyla Schwager of Sheldon Siblio-Cheaton and Teresa Felipe Anderson of MOC Floyd Valley. Schwager is an 18-12 senior. Felipe Anderson, a 9-12 freshman. Mat number 1 is our championship match at 100 pounds. Rasmussen on mat number 2 with a 1-0 lead in that third place match at 190. Again, we had some round robins and some regular brackets, however you want to say it, 8-person brackets. So we've already crowned some champions, and we will be doing the rest of them here coming up shortly as we are in the final round of wrestling here. I want to thank West Lyon for hosting this year. We will be at Central Lyon next year for the girls conference tournament, as this tournament is going to be on a rotation. Felipe Anderson with the takedown. She leads 2-0. As I said, the boys tournament, you have 4 mats, with the majority of them having 7 or 8 person brackets, or people in a bracket. So it's you need a little bit more space. There's only a few gyms in the Siouxland Conference. That one's always in Sioux Center. This one can rotate a little bit since we only use 2 mats. Every gym in the Siouxland Conference can easily handle 2 mats. We are glad to be the broadcasting partner, I guess you'd say, of the Siouxland Conference, as we've been broadcasting the boys tournament for years. Gone through many an iteration of what we do and how we do it. And Rasmussen, the late takedown, leads 3-0. And it looks like Rasmussen is going to get the win in our third place match at 190. It is a round robin. But she's going to win, and Gabby Rasmussen is your third place finisher at 190 pounds. Our championship match at 100 pounds here. End of the first period, Teresa Felipe Anderson of MOC Floyd Valley leads Kyla Schwager of Sheldon Siblio-Cheaton. No points awarded yet here on mat number 1, as we are set to start our third place match at 100 pounds. We have Brooke Stockdale, Okoboji HMS, and McKinley Sambolt, Boynton Hall, Rock Valley. Stockdale, a 10-6 freshman. Sambolt, an 8-12 junior. Third place match at 100 pounds on mat number 2. Stockdale, quick takedown on mat number 2. 3-2 lead for Felipe Anderson over Schwager here on mat number 1. 7-2 score for on mat number 2. Stockdale leads Sandbolt. Third place match at 100 pounds. Schwager with a stall warning here on mat number 1. And on mat number 2, Brooke Stockdale will get the win by fall, and she will finish in third place at 100 pounds. Schrager with a takedown now leads 4-3 on mat number 1. That's our championship match at 100 pounds. And Kyla Schwager gets the win by fall. 15 seconds left in the second period. And Schwager is going to be your champion at 100 pounds for the inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. Now up on mat number 2, our first place match at 120 pounds. Lucy Dorneweird, West Lyon. Michelin Sedam, Central Lyon, George Little Rock. Dorneweird, a 12-11 freshman. Sedam, a 7-6 freshman on mat number 2. Back up on both mats now. Third place match at 120 pounds on mat number 1. Amala Gardfree of Sheldon, Sibley Cheaton, and Carolee Garcia of MOC. Gardfree, a 9-15 sophomore. Garcia, 9-13 freshman. Sedam over on mat number 2 with the takedown. That's our championship match at 120. And Michelin Sedam is going to be your champion at 120 pounds. Our third place match here at 120. Gardfree and Garcia still scoreless. There's a takedown for Gardfree. And now up on mat number 2, another third place match, this time at 125 pounds. We have Dana Coons of Sheldon, Sibley Cheaton, and Bradley Fouth of Okoboji HMS. Coons, a 6-5 senior. Fouth, a 6-11 freshman. Headlock for Coons is the call on mat number 2. So Fouth will get the 1 point penalty point there. So she leads 1-0. Garcia and Gardfree now tied 2-2. Now Garcia had 2 back points, and she'll take the 4-2 advantage into the second period in our 120-pound third place match on mat number 1. Minute to go in our third place match at 125 pounds on mat number 2. Takedown on mat number 1 for Gardfree. Ties it up 4-4, and we're going to have a full Nelson. So Garcia will get the penalty point there. She now has a 5-4 lead over Gardfree. Fouth with the takedown on mat 2 leads 3-0 in the last few seconds of our first period at 125-pound third place match. Reversal for Garcia on mat 1, now leads 7-4. Start of the second period. On mat number 2, Foth with the 3-0 lead over Cons. And Bradley Foth will get the win by fall. A minute 40 to go in the second period on 125 pounds. She will be your third place finisher at 125. And we have blood time. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors on the Central Line Broadcast Network: Frontier Bank, Pizza Ranch, Premier Bank, Avera Medical Group, DeNoble Austin & Company PC, Sanford Health, Pepsi Beverage Company, and Seaport Foltz Insurance and Real Estate. We are up on mat number 2 again. This is our first place match at 130 pounds. It's going to be Grace Seiler, Sheldon Sibley Cheaton, and Lily Henry, Central Line George Little Rock. Seiler, a 14-4 sophomore. Henry, 17-8 senior. 130-pound championship match on mat number 2. Blood time is over on mat number 1, where Garcia of MLC Floyd Valley has a 7-5 lead over Guardfree of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. That's our third place match at 120 on mat number 1. That'll do it for the second period on mat number 1. Carolee Garcia, MLC Floyd Valley, leads 7-5 over Amalia Guardfree of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. No points yet in our championship match at 130. Guardfree with 3 near fall points locked up on mat number 1. She'll have the lead when she gets those points. Mat number 2 comes to an end. 0-0 the first period. That comes to an end. First period comes to an end. 0-0 between Seiler and Henry. A 10-7 score on mat number 1. Guardfree leads Garcia. And an escape for Lily Henry. She holds a 1-0 lead here in mat number 2. Garcia now trails 10-9 on mat number 2, mat number 1 that is. Takedown for Seiler on mat number 2, and she's getting near fall points. Potentially dangerous on mat number 1. 15 seconds remain, and on mat number 2, Grace Seiler will get the win by fall with 1:01 remaining. And Seiler will be your conference champion at 130 pounds. Last 15 seconds here on mat number 1. Carolee Garcia trails Amalia Guardfree 10-9. And up now on mat number 2, 135-pound championship match between Eunice Reyna Yoke and Avery Ballas. Reyna Yoke of MOC Floyd Valley is a 13-3 sophomore. Ballas of Okoboji HMS is a 14-6 senior. 135 championship match on mat number 2. Over on mat number 1, Amalia Gardfree gets the win and is your third place finisher at 120 pounds. Ballas with a 2-1 lead over Reyna Yoke on mat number 2. We're going to go to both mats here, as on mat number 1, we have a first place match between Emily Winkle, Central Line George Little Rock, and Teresa Rodriguez, MOC Floyd Valley. Winkle is a 19-4 senior, Rodriguez a 15-4 senior. That's our championship match at 125 pounds on mat number 1. With a reversal by Reyna Yoke of MOC Floyd Valley on mat number 2. She now leads 5-4 over Avery Ballas. And Eunice Reyna Yoke will be your champion at 135 pounds. Still 0-0 between Winkle and Rodriguez here. 50 seconds to go in the first period. It's our championship match at 125 pounds on mat number 1, what you're looking at. And we're back up on mat number 2. If I can see who is going to be wrestling. All right, we have our third place match at 135 pounds. Cameron Halber of Boyden Hull Rock Valley and Delaney Rowland of Sioux Center. Mat number 2, Halber is a 15-11 junior. Rowland a 10-8 sophomore. Third place match at 135 pounds is up now on mat number 2. Halber with a takedown on mat number 2 for the early 2-0 lead. Mat number 1, end of the first period between Winkle and Rodriguez, and it remains scoreless. Escape for Winkle. She holds a 1-0 lead now on mat number 1.
At the conclusion of the Siouxland Conference Championships, there will be medals.
Halber with near fall points.
At the conclusion of all the matches, we will be presenting medals the first, second, and third. First, second,
Cameron Halber with 3 near fall points on mat number 2 now leads 5-3. That'll do it for the first period on mat number 2. That's our third place match at 135. On mat number 1, Emily Winkle still leads 1-0 over Teresa Rodriguez. That's our championship match at 125 pounds. Looks like we might have blood time on mat number 2. We'll go to just our mat number 1 here. And 5 seconds to go. Emily Winkle gets the late takedown over Rodriguez, and she will take a 3-0 lead into the third period. Halber and Rowland ready to go again here on mat number 2. So, Delaney Rowland with a 3-point near fall and then a technical violation on Halber for pulling on headgear. So Rowland only trails 5-4 now on mat number 2. She was down 5-0 here in just a second ago. And Winkle has Rodriguez on her back, is going to get 2 near fall points. So Emily Winkle up 5-0 now with 1:05 remaining in this championship match on mat number 1 at 125 pounds. Cameron Halber looking for a reversal or at least an escape, and there's the escape. So Halber now leads 6-4 on mat number 2. Emily Winkle. 3 more near fall points locked up here. Reversal by Rowland on mat number 2 ties it up 6-6. That's a third place match at 135. And Emily Winkle will win by fall on mat number 1. And Winkle is your conference champion at 125 pounds. And Rowland will get the win by fall on mat number 2. She is your third place finisher at 135 pounds. And we're rolling on with the action here. Track can't keep up top here. I'm not sure what we have going. I think we have our third place match on mat number 1 at 130 pounds. Yes, it's third place on 130 on mat 1. Claire Metzger, West Lyon versus Kimberly Bergeson of Okoboji HMS. Metzger is a 13-8 junior. Bergeson is a 6-6 freshman on mat number 1, third place at 130. On mat number 2, we have our 140-pound championship match between Riley Weiler of Central Line George Little Rock and Eliana Coy of West Lyon. Ryler is a 24-3 senior, Coy a 15-4 sophomore. That is our championship match on mat number 2 at 140 pounds. Coy with a takedown on mat number 2, 2-0 lead here. Metzger leads 3-2 over on mat number 1. Mat number 1's our third place match at 130. And blood time on mat number 2, so we'll go just to mat number 1 here. Claire Metzger of West Lyon up 3-2 over Kimberly Bergeson of Okoboji HMS here on mat number 1. It's our third place match at 130. Into the first period here on mat number 1. Weiler gets out for the escape here on mat number 2. Sorry, go back to both mats. Mat number 2. She got out real quick there on the restart. 2-1 lead now for Coy over Weiler on mat number 2. That's our championship match at 140. Metzger up 5-3 over Bergeson on mat number 1. Our third place match at 130 on mat number 1. That'll do it for the first period on mat number 2. Eliana Coy will take a 2-1 lead over Riley Weiler into the second period. Claire Metzger now up 7-3. Turns Bergeson, and Claire Metzger will get the win in the third place match at 130 pounds. So Claire Metzger is your third place finisher at 130. Focus on our championship match here at 140. Weiler with the reversal and now has Coy on her back. So Weiler up 3-2. And that'll do it. Riley Weiler will get the win by fall. 1:19 left in the second period. Weiler is your champion at 140 pounds. Now up on mat number 1, our third place match at 140. Mariana Vasquez of Boynton Hall Rock Valley versus Cheyenne Cummings of Okoboji HMS. It's our third place match at 140. Vasquez is a 19-9 freshman. Cummings a 10-8 freshman. And our only fifth place match of the evening will take place here on mat number 2. It's 140 pounds as well. Genesis Gutierrez of MOC Floyd Valley versus Jayla Pritz of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Gutierrez is a 1-13 freshman versus Pritz, a 4-15 junior. Mat number 2, our fifth place match at 140. Vasquez with a 2-0 lead over Cummings on mat number 1. Sorry, we do have one more fifth place match. That'll be our next and our last weight class of the evening at 155. Gutierrez gets a takedown on mat number 2 for the early 2-0 lead. That's our fifth place match at 140 on mat 2. Our third place match at 140 is on mat number 1, where Mariana Vasquez of Boynton Hall Rock Valley leads 2-0 over Cheyenne Cummings of Okoboji HMS. Tied up 2-2 now on mat number 2 between Gutierrez and Pritz. The end of the first period on mat number 1. That's our third place match at 140. Mariana Vasquez leads Cheyenne Cummings 4-2 as they go to the second period on mat number 1. Over on mat number 2. Genesis Gutierrez will take a 4-2 lead over Jayla Pritz into the second period on mat number 2. Again, both of these are 140-pound matches. Mat 1 is our third place match. Mat 2 is our fifth place match. Takedown by Gutierrez, now 6-2 on mat number 2 in favor of the MLC Floyd Valley wrestler. And she's got near fall points. And Genesis Gutierrez will win the fifth place match and finish in fifth place at 140 pounds. Vasquez leads 4-2 over Cummings here on mat 1, our third place match at 140. Now up on mat number 2, our third place match at 155. Aria Rensink of Boynton Hall Rock Valley and Briley Nelson of Central Line George Little Rock. Rensink, a 15-8 senior. Nelson, a 19-8 sophomore. Rensink gets the quick takedown. As our third place match at 140 sees Mariana Vasquez up now 6-2 over Cheyenne Cummings. Start of our third period, Vasquez now leads 9-2 on mat 1. Nelson gets the escape on mat number 1, 2-1 lead for Rensink now. Both of these are third place matches, 140 on mat 1, 155 on mat 2. Rensink will get the takedown on mat number 2, 4-1 lead now. End of the second period, or end of the first period on mat number 2. Aria Rensink of Boynton Hall Rock Valley with the 2-1 lead over Briley Nelson of CLGLR. Rensink another takedown, 6-1 lead now on mat number 2. 51 seconds left in the match on mat number 1. Vasquez still leads, 9-2 is the score there. Last 20 seconds of the match on mat 1. Vasquez gets the escape to extend her lead, now 10-2. Under a minute to go in mat number 2 for the second period. Rensink with the 6-1 lead over Nelson. And that'll do it on mat number 1. Mariana Vasquez of Boyden Hall Rock Valley will be your third place finisher at 140 pounds. Nelson not able to get the escape there on mat number 2. She will still be down. That'll do it for the second period on mat number 2. Nelson gets the escape late, 6-2 lead now for Aria Rensink of Boyden Hall Rock Valley. Nelson chose top position, so she's going to have to turn Rensink in order to win this match and get near fall points or win by fall. Have to turn her twice if she wants to win by points. And we're ready to go with our championship match at 155 pounds. We have Casey Huss of MLC Floyd Valley and Tamsin Budden of Sheldon Sibley Cheaton. Huss is a 28-2 sophomore. Budden a 20-8 senior. Mat number 1, 155-pound championship match. This is our last champion we have yet to crown here in the inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. Our third place 155-pound match is going to reset in the middle. Rensink does have the 8-2 lead after the reversal. And Aria Rensink will get the win by fall on mat number 2. She will be our third place finisher at 155 pounds. Huss with the takedown on mat number 1. It's our championship match at 155 pounds. See if they're going to reassign our fifth place match or if they're just going to let this one play out. Unfortunately, I have to get somebody on a computer to reassign the match in track wrestling in order to move it from mat 1 to mat 2. Reversal for Budden. She now trails 4-2. And that'll do it for the first period. Casey Huss will take the 4-2 lead into the second period. It was Budden's choice there. She deferred, and Huss will choose neutral. And a takedown for Huss extends her lead to 6-2. And they'll reset, minute 16 remaining in the second period. A reversal by Budden. 6-4 is the lead now for Huss. 45 seconds left in the second period here in our championship match at 155. So it was a 2-point reversal and then a 2-point near fall for Huss. So Huss now leads should be 10-4. They have 8-4, but maybe it was just a defense. Yeah, maybe it's 8-4. Again, I don't know enough about wrestling to explain things. I can give you the time and score, though, which tonight's setup is not really that useful, to be honest with you. As you can see the time and score. Budden, though, with the escape there, 8-5 now. Minute 24 left as they reset. And another reset. Minute 8 to go now. And Huss with the takedown. Now 10-5 is the lead. 10-6. The escape from Budden. Budden with a takedown, almost had Huss straight to her back. 10-8 lead now. And now near fall points for Budden. Roll through though for Huss. So 12-2 after the 3 near fall points and the reversal. Now 12-12 as she just let her up. I don't think she knew. Not sure Huss knew that it was 12-11. And we are going to our first overtime of the evening. Injury time here for Budden. She does not get very much injury time, so she has 2 minutes, I do believe, and if she can't continue on, it will be a forfeit. All right, and we're ready to go. One minute on the clock here between Huss and Budden. First to score wins. And it'll be Huss. Casey Huss will get the win by fall. And she is your champion at 155 pounds. Leaves us with one match to go. That is our 5th place match for 155 pounds.
Wrestlers, coaches, we have one more match to go, and we will begin the medal ceremony as quickly as possible at the completion of this match.
All right, our 5th place match here at 155 pounds is going to have Krishana Allen of Okoboji HMS versus Winifred Nice of Sioux Center. Allen, a 5'4" junior, versus Nice, a 3'9" junior. Our last match here, 155 pound, 5th place match. Allen up 2-0. Allen now with near fall points. Not sure what happened there. I think maybe Allen thought she had the win by fall. But no, just 3 near fall points. Another takedown for Allen now. She is up 7-2. And Allen will get the win by fall, and she is your 5th place winner at 155 pounds. We're going to take a quick short break, and we'll be back with our final team scores here from the inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. You're watching Lions Wrestling here on the CL Broadcast Network.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we always want to give you more variety. That's why we developed Buffet Your Way. Order your favorite pizza for the buffet and we'll bake it and make sure you get the first slice. Like thin crust prairie, pepperoni and green olives on stuffed crust, Stampede. Buffalo chicken with jalapenos. You name it, we make it. Oh, Carl, I wasn't actually ordering. No, Carl, don't be like that. Come back, we'll eat them.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Keep them coming, Carl.
For the inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Tournament. We just finished up here. I want to go through our scores, team scores here real quick. In 7th place with 47 points, Sioux Center. In 6th place with 81.5 points, West Lyon. In 5th place with 110 points, Boyd Hall Rock Valley. Tied for 2nd place, MLC Floyd Valley, Orkaboji HMS, and Sheldon Sibley Chuden with 113 points. And your inaugural Siouxland Conference Girls Wrestling Team Champion, Central Lyon George Little Rock with 171 points. So congratulations to Coach Jeff Jager and his girls on a tournament, on a good job during the tournament tonight. The Lions had a few champions, and it helps that they have someone at every single weight, I do believe. Obviously, numbers do help here in this type of tournament. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, as we'll be back on the air on Monday with more Siouxland Conference action. This time it'll be basketball live from the Central Lyon High School in Rock Rapids with Unity Christian. Until then, I want to thank our sponsors one last time: Frontier Bank, Pizza Ranch, Premier Bank, Avera Medical Group, DeNovo Austin and Company PC, Sanford Health, and Super Fultz Insurance and Real Estate. I'm Jeff Cruz. For everyone here at West Lyon putting on this tournament, all the volunteers, we want to thank everybody for allowing us to come over and do this service for you all. And for Jeremy Childress, the AD here at West Lyon, putting on a tournament this size is not something that's very easy to do. Always something that you have to deal with. So I want to thank him and all of his staff here. And we will be back on air for wrestling next week, Thursday, for the boys conference tournament live from Sioux Center. So you can tune in for that one as well. But until then, I'll see you next time.